Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Olight Baton4 Premium Edition flashlight. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So the Baton4 is a small EDC flashlight and it comes with a charging case. It says max 5 charges for the Baton4, has max 1300 lumens. So if we look on the back, it says it has a built-in 5000 milliamp hour battery, and you can charge it up to 5 times, providing up to 190 days of runtime for the light. You can also use it as a power bank to charge your devices. Now here we have a chart talking about the different modes and some other specs. So to get that 190 days, you're going to be using the moonlight mode, and that's 0.5 lumens. So that has a 30-day runtime. So this chart's showing the lumens and runtimes, and for low and medium you have lumens and runtime. Now when you get up into high and turbo modes, it has a tiered system. So for instance, turbo will be at 1300 lumen for 1.5 minutes, then it will drop to 600 lumens for 2.5 minutes, and then 300 lumens for 73 minutes. When it's running at that high lumen, it will get hot, so that is to keep it from overheating. So let's get this open. So this has a magnetic box here. Thank you note. And here's a note talking about first time using it. So it has a little isolation film you need to remove. So this is a very nice presentation here. We'll pull up on this. We'll pull the light out. We'll pull up on here and we have the accessories. It says thank you at the bottom. There it is. So this has some nice heft to it. It just feels super nice. It has specs on the bottom. We have a USB-C port here. This is a button and the indicator. If we flip this open, we can pull the light out. Then we're going to unscrew this. And we'll pull that tab. We can see the battery here. It says 16340, 3.6 volts, 650 milliamp hours. Now we can screw this back in. So this has a very premium feel to it. Now a light like this could be a good gift for someone. As I record this, we're coming up upon Father's Day. This could also be good for birthdays, graduation, or maybe a gift from an employer to an employee. It has a nice premium feel to it. So this has a magnetic base on it, and that slips into here, magnets in, that'll close. Here we have a battery indicator, and it comes with a USB cable. This is USB-A to USB-C. So let's try charging this. I'll plug in here, and I'll plug in to the side. And there's a little flashing indicator showing it's charging. And it's currently charging at, looks like 2.96 amps. So actually that's charging very fast. And here we have microfiber cleaning cloth. Here's a little hook, and it comes with a lanyard. Let's take a look here. So this looks like a reference manual. And here's the user manual. So it's a map style manual. It has lots of languages on it. We can see there. Here's a chart talking about the runtimes again. This is IPX8 waterproof. This talks about turning it on or off. So you press the power button to turn it on. You can lock it by pressing and hold for 2 seconds. And then to unlock, you press and hold for 1 second. It has a moonlight mode. You press and hold for 1 to 2 seconds. It turns that on, so that's the half lumen mode. Now a lot of people will look at a flashlight and look how bright it can be, which is nice, but many times you don't need super brightness. So if you wake up in the middle of night in a tent, you don't want to blow out your night vision, so you can turn this on that half lumen mode, and you can see a lot of things with that. It has turbo mode. You double press it. Strobe mode, you triple press. To adjust the brightness, you press and hold, and that will rotate between low, medium, and high. So the flashlight can be turned on within the charger, so you press the button to turn it on. You can close the lid to turn it off. You can press and hold to do dimming, and it says if the battery is below 10%, it will show the charge on there, so you know not to bring it all the way down. So it looks pretty straightforward. Let's take a little closer look at the light. So we have a two-way clip here, so you could clip this on a hat, like in here, or you could clip it to a pocket. It has this knurling on it, so it's grippy. It's magnetic here, so you can put it on something that's metal. And it has a button. If we look here, there's indicators on the left and right for the button. That's for the battery and the mode. So this is the battery, and here's the brightness. And here you can see in there. Let's see if I can turn this on. So there's the moon mode. So I'll put that back in. I'm going to let this charge up all the way, and then we'll test it out. Okay, this is finished charging. You can see it says 100% here. So I'll unplug it. So now I'll do some demonstrations of it. So we can open this up and we can turn it on by pressing the button on the front, and here it's on. So I'll press it again and turn it off. Now if I hold this down, it will turn on to moon mode. I'll turn it off, you might be able to see that change. So that's on the moonlight mode. Now if I press the button again, it's going to go to the last mode it was on, and I can hold this down and it will do stepless dimming here. So now it's getting very bright. Now if I want to go the other direction, I'll hold it down again and it will dim. Press the button and turn it off. So if this is charging, you need to use it, you can easily flip this open and turn it on. You could also just leave it in there. So maybe you're in a hotel room and you want a night light in the bathroom. You could turn this on that moon mode and have just a tiny little glow coming from this thing. So now we can take this out and we can use this on its own, obviously. So I'll hold this down again. We're in that moon mode. It's very dim. I'm just going over the modes here. I will demonstrate these. And now let's press it and turn it on. And to change the light, we'll hold it down. And this is going to have stepped dimming, so it's going to get brighter. And that's the brightest mode of the regular settings. And then if we want turbo, we'll double tap this. And now we have turbo mode. Now if we want the strobe, and this contains flashing lights, we'll triple click it. So I'll turn it on, triple click. We're going to have that strobe mode. So I want to go over the button presses there. I'll turn the lights off and I'll show what these modes look like. So we're just on my bench here. I'll do this and show moonlight mode. So here's that moonlight mode. It's super dim, but if your eyes are acclimated to the dark, you can see a lot with just this much light. So here I'm around 4 foot from the wall. Now I have a little bit of ambient light coming in from the side, and I'm shining that moonlight at the wall. You can just barely see it there, but it is lit up a little bit. So now I'll turn this on a regular mode. So this is going to be low, medium, and high. So this is very bright here. So we have a bright spot in the middle, and then it's kind of faded towards the edges. So the different levels are a little easier to see on camera than they are in person. But it's a very even light. Now I'll do the double click. So now we have turbo brightness. So that's very bright. So I just wanted to show the modes here. Now I'll take it out and I'll demonstrate it in the dark. Okay, so I'm out here at night and I'm at the end of my 50-foot driveway. So I have the light. So here we are on low. And I can see this light on the garage doors. It's not super bright, but I can see it. I'll hold this down and we'll go to medium. This is a little bit brighter, so if I was walking through the woods on a path at night, this might be a nice mode to be on. And here we have bright. Now this is a lot brighter. This is really lighting up the whole driveway. I have the bigger spot in the middle, and then I have the lighter light on the perimeter. Now if I double tap this, we're going to go into turbo mode. And now this is very bright. So you can see here, we have that nice bright spot. Now if I hold it down, I'm going to go into the moon mode, and I don't know that this would be showing up. You can see it here. It does show up right in front of me. So if it's pitch black out, this would probably work very well. I'll turn it on the strobe mode now. So if you need to get attention, you could use that. Now I'm going to put it in the case, and I'll turn it on using the case. So I'll hold it down and you can see the even stepless dimming. So that's the full brightness. Now you can kind of see the shadow there of the case. That's what this is. So hold it down again. And now we're at the lowest mode. Okay, so here I'm in my garage and it is very dark in here. It's pitch black. I'll turn this on the 1 lumen mode. And this is not coming through on camera very well, but I can easily see in front of me. You can kind of see the glistening. That is my car tire. So now I'll hold this down and we'll go up to the normal mode. So there's low, medium, and then high. So now this is very bright. Now if you're changing a tire, let's try this. I think even on the low mode you'd have enough light. Now you might say, why would you not just want to turn it to the brightest? Of course we can always go to turbo mode, which is super bright. But you don't want to blind drivers driving by if you're on a highway at night. So there's plenty of light even on that low mode. So those are some demonstrations of the flashlight. So last night I set this down here at about 10 o'clock. It's around 8 o'clock now the next day. And I put it on the moon mode. And we're still at 100%. Of course, that uses very little power. Now I did add the lanyard on the back here. I used the little hook tool to pull it through that hole. So that's the Olight Baton4 Premium Edition flashlight. I really like the form factor of this. You have the charging case here. You can throw this in your backpack or your travel bag. And then if you're going on a hike or something, you can just pull out the little flashlight and take it with you. This thing's very small, very lightweight, very versatile. This flashlight would be ideal for hiking, camping, repair work, everyday carry, It's super easy to use. I think I forgot to mention that this does have memory on it. So we're on, I think, medium mode there. If we turn it off and turn it back on, it goes back to the last mode you're on. So if you have a certain mode you like, you can just keep it on that mode all the time. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.